Hey guys, it's Reading with Audrey back again with another video, and today we are going to be reading Chapter 7 of All the Answers by Kate Messner. In the last chapter of this book, Ava and Sophie were just experimenting, asking interesting questions, and they learned a little bit more about the pencil. They learned that the pencil can tell them what other people are doing on different places, in the world. It's actually pretty interesting. Who knew that a pencil could do that? But, wonder what other magical things the pencil could do. Let's find out in the next chapter of All the Answers by Kate Messner. Let's get on with it, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on your post notifications if you like this video. Chapter 7. Lemonade, Cookies, and Questions. Ava meant to save the pencil to use with Sophie after school on Wednesday, but she didn't quite make it to the last bell. She pulled it out of her backpack twice during the day. The first time was right before lunch. "You don't have to go to the library again, do you?" Sophie asked, balancing her lunch bag on her knee in her locker. "Come eat with us in the cafeteria. I miss you." Sophie's gymnastics friends, Maya and Lucy, were already waiting for her down the hallway. Let me check really fast, okay?" Ava told Sophie. She headed toward the library, but then ducked into the girls' bathroom and took out the pencil. She didn't want to waste time finding paper, so she ripped a paper towel from the dispenser and wrote, "What do Sophie's gymnastics friends think about me?" Her hand was shaking as she finished the question mark. "They don't know you very well, but they like you okay," the pencil said. "Maya thinks you're really nice, but kind of quiet. And Lucy likes your sneakers with the bright green laces." Ava looked down at her orange basketball shoes and smiled. Last summer, her cousin Shanika had visited from New York City and taught her how to lace them this fancy way that looked like a ladder. Lucy thought that was cool, and Maya thought Ava was nice. So Ava went to lunch instead of sneaking off to the library. It went pretty well. The second time Ava pulled out the pencil was right after she finished running the mile in gym class. Mr. Avery asked her why she didn't try out for the cross-country team, as if she planned to do track in the spring. Ava told him she didn't know, but when she got to the locker room, she took out their pencil and wrote, "Does Mr. Avery think I'd be good at running track?" "Yes." The pencil sounded like it wanted to add a sarcastic "obviously" to that answer, but it refrained. Ava wrote, "Who else is going to try out for the team?" But there was no answer. And then she remembered the whole dumb free will thing. She'd have to think more about track. After school, Sophie came home with Ava. Sophie wanted to get right to the fun questions, but Ava said that they had to do homework first or they'd never get to it. So they did their English vocabulary page and then asked the pencil where they could find goldenrod galls, and it told them, and they sipped a whole bunch from stalks in the field behind the store. Then Sophie ate pizza with the Andersons. She and Ava were headed upstairs with the pencil when Ava's dad said, "Everybody ready for family night?" Wednesday was family night at Cedar Bay Nursing Home. Every Wednesday after dinner, attendants wheeled the residents down the long yellow hallway to meet with family members. Everybody sat in folding chairs, drank warmish, watered-down lemonade, and ate cookies while they waited for the 7 o'clock show. Usually, some local church choir or little kids' ballet class or high school string ensemble. Nobody talked much on family night. A few of the residents couldn't speak because they'd had strokes. Some, like Ava's grandpa, could talk but were too sad or grumpy to say much. Others had dementia and didn't know what was going on around them. When the dementia people did talk, it didn't always make sense. Mr. Clemson, who was a firefighter a long time ago, worried about imaginary burning buildings. "Get down!" he'd hollered at Ava when she walked by during the family night once. "Stay low! Head for the exit!" Mr. Grabowski, who had a stroke 2 years ago and couldn't talk at all, always wore a pale purple pantsuit and tapped her feet to the music. Her white sneakers were too clean ever to have seen grass. Mr. Ames spent family night slapping his knee enthusiastically, though never quite in time to the music. Miss Raymond, who wore pastel sweatshirts with cuddly animals embroidered on the front, tipped her head back and forth to whatever song was playing. And Miss Yu sat perfectly still except for her mouth. She always looked like she was chewing. even when she never ate the cookies. The snoozy gang, that's what Ava and Sophie called the residents of the back row who nodded off as soon as the concert started, always woke up with a start at the end. Then there was Grandpa, who scowled under his pulled-down baseball hat and complained about the music, if he said anything at all. Mom never missed family night, but she never had much to say to Grandpa. They hadn't gotten along since Grandma Marion died. Ava's mom didn't talk about why, but her dad told her once it had to do with Grandpa's lifestyle and choices. Ava didn't ask about it after that. She just went with Mom and everyone else to the nursing home on Wednesdays and ate the cookies. Family night wasn't negotiable, so Ava and Sophie put their pencil plans on hold and piled into the Andersons' minivan for the drive to Cedar Bay. "You brought it, right?" Sophie whispered to Ava once they got settled in the community room and the others had gone to check out the snack table. "Yep." Ava slipped the pencil in her legal pad out of her backpack. "I got my list, but I was thinking," Sophie whispered, "we should find out if it can answer bigger questions." Ava frowned. "Bigger how?" "Like important world things. Like..." Sophie grabbed a newspaper from one of the folding chairs and scanned the front page. "Ask about the election. Not who's going to win, but maybe, how the candidates are always looking for rotten things to say about one another. Ask it if Senator Tobinich has ever broken the law." "Ha! My dad would love that question. He can't stand that guy." She wrote, "Has Senator Rodney Tobinovich, the one running for president, ever broken the law?" Immediately, the voice in her ear says, "It says yes." "Oh my gosh!" Sophie's eyes lit up. "Ask what he did and when and everything." So Ava wrote, "When, where, and how did Senator Rodney Tobinovich, the one running for president, break the law?" "He sometimes drove in excess of the speed limit," the voice said. Ava waited, but the pencil didn't say anything else. She looked at Sophie. "He drives too fast?" "That's it. Everybody drives too fast." Ava shrugged and looked up just in time to see her family coming back to the chairs. Emma was scowling down at her cookies. "Cookies look good, Em," Sophie said, smiling. "They're tiny, but I only got to take 2, she grumped. "And call me by my real name." She pointed to her "Hello, my name is Rapunzel" tag. "Settle down, Rapunzel," Dad said, ruffling her hair. "Grandpa's coming." When the attendant wheeled Grandpa into the community room, Dad said, "Good to see you, Hank. You're looking terrific." Grandpa grunted. Then, half a dozen Irish dancers showed up, wearing long-sleeve white shirts and plaid skirts and vests. They were sweating like crazy, even before they started hopping and kicking. The music was so fast, Miss Raymond could hardly keep up with her head tipping. Miss Grabowski's tapping feet looked as if they might carry her right out the door and down the street. But Grandpa never looked up from his hands. "They're terrific, aren't they, Hank?" Dad said when they finished and everyone was clapping. He leaned over to Grandpa. "Did you like the music?" "No." "No?" Dad smiled and hummed part of the song, doing a little chair dance. "Well, I thought it was pretty lively." "Tiny whiny garbage. That's not music." Grandpa kept looking down at his fingers, all wrapped together, as if he might find the real music there. Sophie got a sparkle in her eye and pulled her iPod out of her purse. "Want to hear something better?" "Tell me you're not about to torture Grandpa with Katina D," Marcus smirked. "Why not?" "Soph, I don't think that's a great idea," Ava said, but Sophie was already poking her earbuds into Grandpa's hairy ears. Grandpa swiped them away. "Garbage!" he grouched and started babbling about some old nightclub in Manhattan where they played real music and knew how to make a decent whiskey sour, too. Then the nurse came and said it was time to go back to his room. Sophie looked at Ava. "I'll put different music on there for next time. Maybe we can find something he likes." "Well, see you next week, Hank," Mom said. She never called Grandpa dad. In the past, Ava had always chalked up to that being the way things were, but she found herself wondering about why they didn't get along. Now, she had a way to find out. Oh, well, alrighty guys, that is the end of chapter 7 of All the Answers by Kate Messner. I'm actually a little angry. This chapter completely left us on a cliffhanger. Why don't Grandpa and Ava's mom get along? How can you just leave us at a cliffhanger like that? Kinda sucks, but it's okay. Other than that, though, this chapter was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed how it let us get to know all the different characters that are in the home. You know, oh my gosh, what's it called? The retirement home. I love how it let us know about all the different characters that were in the retirement home. It's pretty good. This chapter was short and sweet, but I literally cannot wait to find out what in the world happens. But we're going to have to wait until the next chapter of All the Answers by Kate Messner. Bye, guys. Have a good day, night, whatever time it is.